The White House used its Twitter account to go after GOP lawmakers who are criticizing President Joe Biden's decision to cancel some student debt after they personally benefited from having Paycheck Protection Program loans forgiven during the COVID pandemic. The White House highlighted several congressional Republicans, Reps. Vern Buchanan of Florida, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania, and Markwayne Mullin and Hern of Oklahoma, who it said had 6- and 7-figure PPP loans forgiven as part of a federal program designed to assist those harmed by the coronavirus in a series of tweets. The lawmakers, like many of their Republican counterparts, have chastised Biden for his student loan choice. Greene, who argued on Newsmax that student debt forgiveness was completely unfair, had $183,504 in PPP loans erased, according to the White House. Kelly, who tweeted that Biden's decision would help Wall Street advisors at the expense of plumbers and carpenters, had $987,237 forgiven, according to the White House. According to the White House, Buchanan had more than $2.3 million in PPP loans canceled, and he called Biden's move reckless and a unilateral student loan giveaway. Borrowers earning less than $125,000 per year, or $250,000 for married couples filing jointly, will be eligible for up to $10,000 in debt forgiveness under Biden's plan. Pell Grant recipients, who account for the vast majority of student loan debtors, will be eligible for an additional $10,000 in debt relief, for a total of $20,000 in debt relief. In 2020, the Paycheck Protection Program was touted as providing loans that might be forgiven if the money was spent on business expenses. Over time, the standards for federal student loan forgiveness have become substantially more strict. The White House also emphasized Mullin's more than $1.4 million and Hern's more than $1 million criticism and PPP loan forgiveness levels. NBC News has reached out to all 5 members of Congress for comment. Mullin replied to the White House on Twitter, claiming that Biden was unfairly criticizing business owners for protecting their employees during the pandemic's peak. 13 Republican members of Congress received and repaid loans through the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. The GOP is also generally opposed to student loan relief. Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky labeled Biden's offer for forgiveness a slap in the face to working Americans. Which members of Congress have had their PPP loans forgiven? Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, R. Georgia, isn't the only one. Greene is one of 13 Republican members of Congress who wholly or partially own a business that obtained a PPP loan that the Small Business Administration, SBA, eventually forgave, according to the Center for American Progress, CAP, Action. Greene's loan was said to be worth $180,000. In reaction to Biden's student loan forgiveness idea, the House Judiciary GOP tweeted, "If you take out a loan, you pay it back, period." While the Republican Party will almost certainly dispute Biden's student loan forgiveness scheme in court, the contrast persists. Other Republicans in Congress who fall within this category include Representative Matt Gaetz, R. Florida, with a loan of $476,000. Representative Greg Pence, RN, for $79,441. Representative Vern Buchanan, R. Florida, for $2.8 million. Representative Kevin Hern, R. Oklahoma, received $1.07 million, while Representative Roger Williams, R. Texas, received $1.43 million. Representative Brett Guthrie, R. Kentucky, for $4.3 million. Representative Ralph Norman, R. South Carolina, received $306,520, while Representative Mike Kelly, R. Pennsylvania, received $974,100. Representative Vicky Hartzler, R. Mo, for $451,200. Representative Markwayne Mullin, ROK, for $988,700. Representative Carol Miller, RWV, for $3.1 million. The focus is on Republican PPP loan beneficiaries because of their opposing views on loan relief. Republicans are hardly alone in receiving PPP loans and having them forgiven. Democrats in Congress use the technique for themselves or their families as well. Nancy Bass Wyden, wife of Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, D., obtained a $2.7 million PPP loan. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D. California, had a stake in a California hotel that received PPP funding. A PPP loan was made to Representative Matt Cartwright's D. Pennsylvania, former law business, where Cartwright's wife worked throughout the pandemic. The husband of Nevada Representative Susie Lee, D., runs a regional casino that received one. The dual-sided nature of the PPP loan's congressional penetration is well documented, but the GOP's refusal to grant another type of relief has some Americans scratching their heads. On August 24, Representative Jim Jordan, R. Ohio, tweeted, "Who will ultimately pay the price of Joe Biden's student loan handout?" The 87% of Americans without college loans. Despite their situational preference for loan forgiveness programs, the GOP shares this sentiment. Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is anticipated to save $300 billion in debt, the majority of which will benefit those earning $75,000 or less per year. With midterm elections on the horizon this autumn, things are heating up at home, and the student loan relief issue will almost certainly be in the spotlight once it takes effect. Do you think that members of Congress that voted against the student loan forgiveness program are living a double standard since they each received far more than $10,000? Leave a comment below. Take care and remember that your money matters.